But Christ was always grateful. And in one of the early scenes of his gratitude came the feeding of the 5,000. You may remember there that he had loaves of bread and just a couple of small fish. And when he had given thanks, he said, "Go and feed these people. They have been with me for several days now, and I don't want them to go home hungry." They certainly didn't go home hungry spiritually, but he meant also physically. And in that feeding, we read that there are 5,000 people, and that, in the biblical writers, that covered only the men. So if you take the women and the children, probably there were more like 10,000 that he fed in that great feeding. And there are two feedings mentioned, the 5,000 and the 4,000. After everybody was finished eating, there were baskets full of pieces of bread and fragments left over. And in this statement of grateful praise that Christ gave, he made one of his most profound statements: "Gather up the fragments that remain so that nothing is lost." And that's a tremendously deep statement of gratitude. In God's love, nothing is lost. God's love pours out, it pours into each of us, and it's complete in itself. And even though we might feel some things are left incomplete or undigested, God's way is to gather up the fragments. And we would say in this ministry to integrate the different parts of ourself, to integrate our relationships in the sense of bringing harmony and deeper friendship and gratefulness in every relationship we have. So gather up the fragments that nothing is lost.